Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. I regret to inform you that another wave of Twitter freaks has hit Scott Falco. That's right, another viral tweet has been made using a clip of one of his videos in an attempt to cancel the artist and YouTuber Scott Falco. Now, it's nothing new, it's another round of jokes about fictional characters from an old video that people are using to brandish him a whole bunch of buzzwords. Now, you may remember this video because it is one that Scott has been canceled for before. And this is the video in particular from 5 months ago, and people are still talking about this on Twitter. And by people, I mean mostly terminally online children. And you can see the video has 1.3 million views, which apparently to Twitter is 1.3 million reasons to cancel him. And originally he was, of course, attacked for his jokes about fictional characters, including Pokemon trainers like this. And yeah, things have not changed. There is another clip going around, and let's give it a quick watch because that clip has been used to call Scott a whole host of things, including a predator, a literal pedo, and even a transphobe for his comments about tomboys.
It's weird that this model can go from like 10 years old to like 20 with a clothes swap and taking off that stupid hat. You get another friendly rival that is definitely not going to awaken something in younger players. They're just a tall, tan tomboy who is aggressive and friendly and hovers around you while essentially claiming you as a battle partner and constantly hounding you about spending time together. He even jokes about like stalking you. Yup, nothing's gonna come from that. I miss tomboys.
So yes, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the clip that is getting thousands of people to gather together to cancel Scott and call him a bunch of horrible things that we're going to look into now. So I think it comes as zero surprise. You get the typical, yeah, he's a pedophile, no questions asked. You know, you get plenty of those. There's hundreds of people calling him a literal pedo over his comments about this fictional character. Obviously nothing new. Arguing about the age of fictional characters is a sport that only Twitter freaks play. It is an absolutely ridiculous and time-wasting thing to care about. But you have memes like this. This is probably the most common response. People are like, oh, you know, Pokemon fans only have 1 or 2 routes to go. Talking about the underage characters, the trainers, or talking about animals. And they act like, you know, you're going to get canceled if you go either of these routes, correct? So Scott's getting canceled for talking about an underage 16-year-old Pokemon trainer. But you know what? It's not true. People only get mad if they want to get mad at you because they dislike you already. So Scott's getting canceled because he already has a bunch of antis who target him any chance they get. However, think about this. The animals question. What happened when Markiplier made a smash or pass list containing all of the Pokemon in the index? What happened to him? He was met with universal praise and support to the point where his smash or pass formula became like a mainstream thing that other YouTubers and just regular people were using. He didn't get attacked for making a smash or pass determination on what is essentially fictional animals, but somehow Scott on the other end gets canceled for his comments about one of the Pokemon trainers. It just goes to show people will only enforce their cancellations on people that they already dislike. But moving on from that, you know, you got the typical, the age of consent is 18, which unfortunately I don't know any fictional characters that have the capability of consent. I don't know if this user is just on a different plane or something that knows any fictional characters that can consent, but last time I checked, none of them can, whether it's one of the Pokemon trainers or some 40-year-old MILF anime character, none of them can consent. It just goes to show you once again how stupid it is to worry about the age of fictional characters. And you have people like this saying the Pokemon fandom and their weird need to sexualize every little girl ever in the franchise should be enough to warrant an arrest. Yes, warrant an arrest over fictional characters. I wish I would say this is clearly just a joke, but the amount of resources that children like this have wasted by reporting people over fictional content is enough to convince me that someone like this might be a little bit serious. And it's just another reminder of the Tumblr migration and its consequences on the collective human race. Am I right? But, you know, headcanon is something that is quite strong. This user saying, as I said, another tweet She's a minor with autism. She's not a stalker, oh my god. Which of course is referring to the fact that he's implying that the character's a bit of a yandere. So apparently she's not just a minor, she's also one with autism, apparently. I feel like there's a little bit of a projection here and the need to feel yourself represented in a fictional character, but wouldn't be the first time. But moving on to the usual comments continued, making jokes about fictional characters, boom, instantly hit with this, claiming that you have a porn addiction. Twitter users finding out the phrase porn addiction is one of the biggest mistakes that's ever happened. If you make any sort of a comment about a fictional character, if you have any sort of a liking to a fictional character, if you like anything not safe for work, or even just simply have any sort of a set of feelings for a fictional character, congratulations, Twitter is going to diagnose you with a porn addiction. And yeah, that's not exactly how any of this works, but okay. You know, it's really concerning when you think about these younger generations, because that's the majority of people acting like this. Man, how did they become so prudish? It's absolutely insane that this group of Zoomers are so against anything to do with sexual themes. They sound like basically a new age version of 90s soccer moms who are trying to cancel everything that would negatively impact the minds of their children, and yet now they skipped a few decades of ages here. Now it's the Zoomers who are acting like that. Like it's worrisome. Like what's gonna happen when these people get older? Like it's only gonna get worse. But nonetheless, let's move on here. So this person raises a very interesting phrase that people use. So they say, turns out this wasn't actually safe horny. So safe horny is a term that people are using a lot recently. And basically it describes a character that is okay to talk about in any sort of a sexual way. Meaning you won't get canceled, people won't call you a porn addict or a freak or a weirdo. For some reason, there's certain characters that get universally accepted as okay to lust after. A great example is Lady Dimitrescu. Okay, big tittied, 7.5 foot tall vampire lady. For some reason, the whole world just decided it's okay to be horny towards that character and you won't get judged because we all agreed she's not problematic, which is hilarious because at the end of the day, she's a literal corpse and liking her would be necrophilia according to the standards of the people canceling people like Scott for making comments about this underage character. But nonetheless, those are the safe horny characters. You have even like gaming journalists coming out and celebrating the character and talking about her in a sexual way because it's safe to do so. And in this case, obviously these characters fell out of that safe horny, and that's kind of how Twitter works. They are very selective, and it's a very exclusive club of characters that fall under this protection. But clearly this was not one of those exceptions, and he is being attacked by thousands of people. Now, the shamelessness on Twitter and the lack of self-awareness is it hardly surprising at all? I don't think so. This person coming out and saying not only have Pokemon games degraded in quality, they're now played by furries and pedos. Disgusting. I'm going to make a good old Demetrance on this 10-year-old girl lover. I may be a porn addict, but I'm not a pedophile. Well, way to self-report on your porn addiction. I'm glad this person is open and honest about their issues, but unfortunately only one half of those final statements are true, and that's the fact you're a porn addict. And Scott Falco is not a pedo for his comments about fictional characters. Pedos are not attracted to drawings, they're attracted to real-life children. I don't know what definition of pedophile or what any sort of a diagnosis you're looking at, but it never involves fictional characters and drawings. It involves real children, which is not something Scott is attracted to, clearly. But you hear a few jokes about pixels on a screen, and that's enough for you to label someone as the worst thing in the world, while also self-admitting in the process to somehow bump up your sincerity or believability. I have no idea. Embarrassing all around. So like I said in the title of this video, apparently Scott's jokes about missing tomboys is quite controversial. So we're starting off strong with this comment here saying, I hate tomboy fetishists so much, bro. I need them dead. That's right. Liking tomboys in the year 2023, death sentence, according to Twitter. Yeah, like I said, we're starting off strong on this one, but it was really this series of replies in the main body of the tweet here that really took my breath away. So this user saying, in quotes, I miss tomboys. Please tell me that's not a jab at the trans community. Where this person replied, WTF, does being trans have to do with this? I swear to God, if tomboy is considered a slur now, where that person replied with, no, but transphobes are claiming tomboys are being erased by the trans community because they think they might be trans men, which is, I guess, a reference to egg culture, but that's a whole nother conversation. But the fact that people think missing tomboys is some sort of a jab at the trans community, like, fellas, is it transphobic to like tomboys? That seems like the most wild and unproven statement, but somehow gets 85 likes and a decent amount of support. Really makes you think of how much words like transphobia, transphobe has deteriorated to the point of absolutely nothing. They will find any sort of a reach to call you that, and it's sad. We've already seen that happen with, terms like pedo. Now transphobe, it's just a buzzword at this point to label anyone over anything, and it's watering it down, making people not take those terms as seriously. But Twitter's never going to learn that lesson, and I don't expect them to anytime soon. So another comment, this time a quote retweet saying that missing tomboys rhetoric is the same stuff I heard from TERFs. Probably didn't mean it that way, but that's what it sounds like. Also, Nemina is 16 max, brother. You got to stop this. Yeah, again, just kind of like, oh, I think that's what TERFs say, so you probably didn't mean that way, but I'm going to make it seem like that's what you meant. It's kind of like the anti-insult. Like, I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it. I'm describing it fully while saying that might not be the case, or I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're a transphobe, but what you're saying is exactly what transphobes say. Wonderful stuff as always. And then I see people, as we wrap up this video, people are replying to Scott's tweets with this quote, quoting this tweet here, the main one we've been talking about, saying, is this you? Yeah, I think Scott knows this is him because it's his video. I'm pretty sure he remembers making these comments in his video that has over 1 million views, right? I think he remembers. But moving on, this is the point I want to end on. So you go to Twitter, you see all these comments about Scott's video. You would think the whole world is coming after this man and they're trying to cancel him with everything they got. But in reality, it's just Twitter freaks. They have absolutely no bearing on what actual consequences the creator will face in any sort of a sense of reality. Because if you go to the YouTube video, all the comments, overwhelmingly positive, right? And that's where it matters. It's a YouTube video. He made it for YouTube. And that is the section of comments that really matter. And the reception there is much more important than Twitter. Twitter is not a real place. And honestly, whatever happens there might be annoying, but at the end of the day, it's not impactful. These people are arguing for internet points. Meanwhile, Scott has this video uploaded to his channel that grows his channel, was a huge success. He obviously made a lot of ad revenue from it. It has over 1 million views on a long video like that. He clearly did very well and succeeded, and his community loves it. They're joking about the same things he was joking about, the same jokes that on Twitter are getting him canceled. It really makes you think the divide of how even there's such a huge difference between YouTube and Twitter. But nonetheless, that is another round of Scott Falco cancellation. It'll probably be like another week before someone gets bored and needs interactions. I'll post another clip of him. But nonetheless, I'll put a link to the actual video itself in the description if you want to check it out. Be free to do that. But that's going to do it for this video. Please let me know all of your thoughts about the Twitter freaks we talked about today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.